Nathan Hochman announcing charges in a case.
Let's listen in now. It looks like he's just about ready to speak about a possible arrest and charges in the case of a 13-year-old boy whose body was found along a road in Oxnard. We showed you that story as breaking news a while ago, and now we are hearing that someone has been arrested and now facing charges in his death.
Yeah, I'll ask them if they can sit right. Can you ring the rest of the family right there?
All right, we see that
seems
family
like he's
members are
motioning
starting
to the family,
to
right?
join him up there at the podium, but this is something we've been waiting on for a little while. We did hear from the family of that 13-year-old saying that they were going to be there, but the district attorney has not announced what case he is actually bringing forward and who is facing those charges. But we do see a lot of people there gathered around, and I'm looking to see if I recognize those family members from some of the stories that we've done about that 13-year-old who was found dead in Oxnard.
All right. Thank you very much for
Here we
joining
go.
us today. My name is Nathan Hochman. I'm the District Attorney of Los Angeles County. Up here with me, we're joined by Los Angeles Police Chief Jim McDonnell, Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna. Also at the podium is FBI Special Agent in Charge Ted Dox, LAPD Assistant Chief Blake Chow, LAPD Deputy Chief, Head of Detectives Alan Hamilton. From the District Attorney's Office, we had Head Deputy of Major Crimes Craig Hume, along with Deputy District Attorneys Paul Thompson and Nagim Mostadim. Also with me, directly to my left, are Oscar Omar Hernandez's sister, Alejandra Hernandez, his mother, Gladys Bautista, and Oscar's father, Oscar Daniel Hernandez. Today I am announcing the charge of murder with special circumstances against Mario Edgardo Garcia Aquino, who's 43 years old. Mr. Garcia Aquino murdered 13-year-old Oscar Omar Hernandez on March 28, 2025. And when I say that charges have been brought, I want to make it clear that charges themselves are not evidence, that a defendant is presumed innocent until and unless proven guilty in a court of law. The charges allege that Mario Edgardo Garcia Aquino, on that date of March 28, 2025, murdered Omar Hernandez in Lancaster. Mr. Garcia Aquino was his soccer coach. And on that day, Omar Hernandez went up to Lancaster to see Mr. Garcia Aquino. 2 days later, he was reported missing. And on April 2nd, 2025, last week, his body was found in Oxnard off a road near Leo Carrillo State Beach. We have also announcing the charges, again, separate charges, against Mr. Garcia Aquino from a February 22nd, 2024 felony of assault with intent to commit a lewd act against a different individual, a 16-year-old young man in Palmdale. Mr. Garcia Aquino faces at least life without the possibility of parole on the murder charge and 6 years in prison with respect to the felony count of assault with intent to commit a lewd act. These cases are tragic, and the Hernandez family, you have our deepest sympathy for a loss that words cannot even begin to describe. Unthinkable acts, hold them accountable, and prosecute and punish them to the full extent of the law. Now, as part of this investigation, we are asking that if there are any potential victims of Mr. Garcia Aquino, and they're out there, that we have put his picture out with our press release. And we are asking anyone with information or any victims to come forward to the Los Angeles Police Department's Juvenile Division Abused Child Unit, and they can call 818-374 877-710-5415 or the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Special Victims Bureau at 877-710-5273. And if anyone wants to come forward anonymously, they can come forward by phone to the Los Angeles Regional Crime Stoppers Hotline at 800-222-8477. I'd like to now introduce Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna to say some words.
Thank you, Mr. Hochman, and good afternoon to everybody. Being up here, presenting this information is never easy, but on behalf of the men and women of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, very sorry for your loss. Lo sentimos mucho de todo lo que pasó. I'm here today specifically seeking additional victims on a child sexual abuse case involving 43-year-old Mario Garcia Aquino from the Palmdale area. Garcia Aquino was a youth travel soccer coach with the Hurricane Valley Boys Soccer Club in the Sylmar area, working with different age divisions. He had no reported criminal history. In February of 2024, Garcia Aquino befriended a Sylmar family who allowed their juvenile son to stay with him at his residence in Palmdale. The family subsequently filed a criminal report with the Palmdale Sheriff's Station, alleging sexual abuse of their child. This case was assigned to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Special Victims Bureau, North Team, who is tasked with investigating both physical and sexual abuse of children, including adult felonious sexual assaults. During the investigation, and while working with the Los Angeles County District Attorney's office from the Antelope Valley Courthouse, detectives learned that there was another unrelated child sexual abuse case being handled by the Los Angeles Police Department's Foothill Division involving Garcia Aquino. On April 2nd, 2025, the new information from both the Sheriff's Department and the Police Department cases, the District Attorney's Office filed one felony count of assault with intent to commit a sexual offense on Mario Garcia Aquino. Based on the nature of the offenses, Special Victims Bureau detectives believe there may be additional victims. Anyone with information regarding this case or who believes that they may have been a victim is urged to contact the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Special Victims Bureau at 877-710-5273, or you can contact any of your local sheriff stations. I just want to make an additional comment to that because we're really urging anybody in the public, once you see the photos of this individual, that if you may have been a victim, please come forward. I know it's not easy. I know it could be either embarrassing, you don't want to tell somebody, but it's very important that we bring justice not only to the family here to my left, but any families that may have been victimized by this. And I want to add an additional comment that if for some reason anybody fears coming forward, even as a youth or a family, because you may be here undocumented, we're not going to ask about that. Please, you need to come forward. We will assist you, whether it's our department, the Los Angeles Police Department, the LA County District Attorney's Office. Any of us are going to wrap our arms around you and make sure that you get the appropriate services, we guide you the right way, and we protect you as well. Thank you very much.
Now I'd like to call up Los Angeles Police Department Chief Jim McDonnell.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, and thank you for your continued attention and coverage on this deeply tragic case. Before I begin, I want to just take a moment to acknowledge the profound loss endured by the family of Oscar Omar Hernandez. On behalf of the Los Angeles Police Department, I extend our deepest condolences. And while no words can lessen their grief, please know that we're fully committed to pursuing justice for their son. I'd also like to extend my appreciation to our partners whose combined efforts led to today's charges. Thank you to the District Attorney, the FBI, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, the Ventura County Sheriff's Department, and the Ventura County Coroner for the help that they provided. I also want to particularly thank LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division and LAPD's Major Crimes Division for the time, patience, and expertise that they dedicated to this case. While we all hoped for a different outcome, their hard work has helped ensure that this dangerous individual is no longer a threat to the public. When this was a missing persons case that RHD picked up and put everything they had into it, brought in Major Crimes, and the resources with all of our partners here left no stone unturned. And so I'm thankful for the collaboration that we see here and the ability we have to be able to mobilize on a case like this that is so tragic, and to be able to get some level of closure. And as Sheriff Luna mentioned, I share the same sentiments. If anybody is a victim out there, please come forward. There are no obstacles, and we will treat it as sensitively as it needs to be treated, but justice should be served in this. So I won't go into the details of the case. That's already been talked over here, but any questions you have, I'll kick it back to the District Attorney. Thank you all.
So we will now take, myself, Sheriff Luna, and Chief McDonnell will now take questions. After we're done taking questions, Maria Ramirez, where are you? Over there. For the Spanish media, Maria Ramirez will then give a brief overview of what we've been doing and then takes questions in Spanish as well.
District Attorney, before we begin, will the family say anything?
Not at this press conference.
Luz Delia Caballero with CBS KCAL. Question for Sheriff Luna or yourself. Specifically for that assault charge back in February of 2024, did it happen in February of 2024, or was it initially reported in February of 2024?
The date at which it happened, as the charges reflect, is February 22nd, 2024, and that's in Palmdale.
What can you tell us about the circumstances surrounding the arrest? Was there cooperation? Where did it happen?
The arrest, again, with respect to how the individual was arrested so quickly, in some respects, after the March 28th murder, those investigative techniques will be discussed in the appropriate court when we present the additional evidence that shows that Mr. Garcia Aquino committed this murder, as well as the additional acts of which he's been
That is home,
charged.
though, District Attorney. Where was he arrested? Where is he taken into custody?
I believe it, I'll check if I might with Chief Hamilton.
Good afternoon, Alan Hamilton, Chief of Detectives, LAPD. He was taken into custody in the city of Los Angeles, and he was then subsequently transferred to the custody of the Sheriff's Department.
Was he at work, Alan?
He was not at work.
When it comes to talking about additional victims, do those additional victims include perhaps missing children who you fear may have met a similar demise?
We don't predetermine who the additional victims of this particular defendant are. By putting his picture out there and having this press conference as well, and hopefully using the tools that you'll be able to use to get our message out far and wide, we are seeking anyone who recognizes this particular individual as someone that victimized them to come forward to law enforcement. Whether, again, they want to come forward anonymously, come forward to any police department or sheriff station, or use the call-in numbers.
But are we looking at potential missing children cases that possibly could be linked to this? Sheriff?
We're looking at everything, and that's why if it's kind of unique for it's the District Attorney's press conference, but you see us up here in partnership with LAPD, with the FBI. We're working with every agency, and that's why we're really pleading with the community that if you know anything, you've heard anything, or maybe you think somebody's missing, or loved one's missing, call us. Let us check. Let us check all the information. You have the most amazing detectives from all of our agencies that are capable, very capable, and they'll all be working on it.
I'm just trying to interpret this, Sheriff. Is it that you're confident there are additional victims, or you fear there are additional victims, or both?
I would say both at this time. There's always a fear that there's more victims, and we want to make sure that we account for everybody that's out there.
DA Hochman, he was arrested on that earlier sexual assault case, but he wasn't charged. Can you speak to that, to the difficulty of it? And also, we're talking about the most vulnerable citizens, children who cannot protect themselves. Where is the system failing that this child was not protected?
So he was arrested. When he was arrested, it was actually on the February 2024 charge, because that was the first charge that was brought forward. Today, he was actually charged with the murder charge for March 28th. So again, as far as dealing with the most vulnerable victims, we agree with you. Part of the reason for this press conference is to get the message out to the victims and even their families that if they have been victimized by this particular individual, Mr. Garcia Aquino, to come forward in order to bring justice to not just the Hernandez family, but to every family that has been victimized by this individual.
But if he had been arrested on that earlier alleged offense, he wouldn't have been on the streets, and he certainly would not be working as a coach.
In order to develop the evidence for any particular offense, as we will be providing in court, it doesn't happen overnight. So even though that original offense occurred back in February of 2024, that investigation started approximately within weeks of that particular investigation, but you have to actually go through all the different parts of an investigation before you ever get to an arrest warrant. You know, we want, in every single case, we want justice to be as speedy as possible, but we got to get it right. And we have to make sure that at the time we end up charging someone, we have the evidence to prove it. So when we filed and got the arrest warrant on the earlier case, he was actually arrested, and unfortunately, he had committed this case as well.
District Attorney, you said murder with special circumstances, so you've opened up the avenue for the death penalty to pursue that?
So yes, the death penalty is eligible. He is eligible under a murder with special circumstances charge for either life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. We have recently instituted a new death penalty policy in which we will be evaluating whether or not the death penalty is appropriate for this particular case.
Can you talk about Oscar's death? How was he killed? We haven't heard from the coroner's office.
I think I can speak to that. We haven't heard from the coroner's office. At the point at which that information becomes public, we will certainly share it with the public, but we don't have the actual details of how he was killed at this exact moment, nor do we have all the reports that will come in when the coroner produces his or her reports.
Are you able to offer more details as to how you found the body?
Not at this time. The certain investigative techniques were used to both find the body and find the murderer of Omar Hernandez within days. Those investigative techniques and the evidence that came from them will be shared in court at the appropriate time.
The suspect and the victim, both minorities. Does that make your job more difficult because certain people can sort of exist in the shadows? Can you speak to that?
Sheriff, do you want to speak to that one?
This is specifically why I mentioned the fact that if somebody is afraid to come forward because they're afraid of what may happen to them because they may be undocumented, that needs to go away. Here, no matter what your documentation status is, we have a young man that was killed, murdered. That matters. And it should matter to everyone else out there. And that's why we're urging the public, whether we fear of it or we think there's other victims, whatever the circumstances may be, whether you speak the language or you don't, I don't care where you come from, please come forward, let us know right away. But you do ask a good question because people are afraid. And that's why we're out here, we're embracing this and saying, please come forward, we will assist you. We will bring people forward that speak the language, the right services, so we embrace it.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Now, Maria Ramirez, we'll all excuse ourselves this way, and then Maria Ramirez, if you want to
Do we have a court appearance, District Attorney?
I'm sorry?
Do we have a court appearance?
Tomorrow in Department 30 should be the arraignment.
Time? You know?
Unclear as to when. It'll either be a morning calendar or an afternoon calendar.
Thank you.
And you've been listening to a news conference about the arrest of Mario Edgardo Garcia Aquino. He was a soccer coach for a club team in which Oscar Omar Hernandez, the 13-year-old victim, was a young man that was connected with that soccer coach.
The DA charging him with murder this afternoon, saying that the young man went to see him in Lancaster. Apparently 2 days later, he was reported missing. Then his body found near Leo Carrillo State Beach. They're also asking for other young men or young women who may be a possible victim of Mario Edgardo Garcia Aquino to please come forward. There's already another case from February 22nd of 2024 that they're also looking into.